Okay, so now we're going to build the bike. I'm going to start on the table. This is not a standard process, but it's easier to show how to route the cable through. So here we have all the parts. So we have picked SRAM brakes. These are RSC codes, if I remember correctly. Let's see how it is. So this should have the, yeah, there's the dial and, yeah. So these are ready. We don't need to bleed them. We just connect them. And yeah, we have bike yoke, seat post, GX, AXS. Then we have, these are interesting wheels. These are Crossmarks XL aluminum wheel. The weight was, this pair was 1,700 and somewhat grams in pair. I've been actually testing these with Voima as well in Malaga. For that kind of use, these are maybe a little bit too nimble on the corners, but they took the beating and the wheels are fine. Also rate 1 transport as well, but I prefer more burlier wheels, so I go for my personal bike for the ED Max S because it doesn't have the rim tape, and this one doesn't have rim tape as well, because that's really good for any kind of ride. If you snap a spoke, it can't go through and puncture your or kind of the rim tape. Then your riding is done. You need to put a tube in or something like that. So that doesn't happen with these wheels. So that's for the wheels. That's why we actually like Mavic. They have these patented spokes. Some people hate it because they can't get the spokes, but Mavic now delivers the wheels with spokes, spare box spokes. And you can buy these online. So these are good wheels, trust me. We've been using these quite a lot. Okay, so that's about it. Worth mentioning, yeah. Super Deluxe Ultimate Super Deluxe shock. And this is 23 model shock. So we're bringing these in now for Vikkelä. So this shock has low speed dial and also high speed dial, and these actually work really good. The tune for this is L1 and L1 compression and linear rebound. So what it means that from the bottom, since we have a progressive leverage ratio, the bike doesn't jump up too quick, so you can have the low speed compression pretty much open when you're riding. However, now you can actually put that L1 to LC, which is even lighter tune. The less compression you can get away with, the better. And also, if you go plus in the middle here, what I have in mind is I've gone open with the high speed, so I wanted to make it even less damping. But if you go plus, you can go to the next, which is, if I remember correctly, it's medium compression maybe. So, but I don't believe it works very good, but you can try. So you can put more high-speed compression and low-speed compression. These work pretty good. And also for the ultimate fork, it works really good there as well. They have figured out something new on these 23-year models that works really good. This shock is amazingly good on this frame. I recommend it. But now we have it, and since COVID, it's been a while to get new parts. And I'm excited about this. Okay, let's route the brake first. Okay, let's put the caliper on first, so it's easier to work. So it doesn't wiggle around. So routing the brake is really straightforward. So first we put the grommet in. So these are the grommets. Okay. Then we start routing internally. We don't have anything inside like tubes or anything to guide it. We just made big enough holes. Yeah, here we go. So, so here, like, it doesn't rattle. So it kind of goes on a shelf and back. So there's no rattling. And also the grommets are pretty close to each other. So here we don't need damping inside the frame. And the reason we did, we were thinking about tubing and all kinds of like foam putting on top of the cables and everything, that how we could damp the cables inside the frame down. So, but we have a really conventional solution. So we like conventional solutions in almost everything. So for example here, the tape that we use for the chain slab this is just mastic tape, 3M, which you can buy anywhere. And this thing just works. It's really easy to install. It sticks there and it damps the hits of the chain really effectively. So so we thought that there's no point of doing some injection molded plastic something here, which actually wouldn't work as good. So because the damping properties of this this mastic tape is really good. It's just silent. Okay, so now we have routed one route. So then we put another grommet. The grommets are really flexible, so you can put almost anything through that. So you don't need to worry about if you have like these end pieces of the brakes. They go through. They fit through. So this is what I mean by the end piece. So this is usually the burden for most of it. You need to cut that. You need to have a new olive and everything if you have to take off the stuff. But this goes through here. Look, this goes through here. You don't need to cut the cables every time you do maintenance or whatever. For if you need to take off the brakes or anything. So that's a nice detail. And yeah, I just give a tip to people who think that they need to cut the cable because of this. This goes through if just use more newtons. It just goes through. This is plastic, so don't worry about it. Like I've seen people just cutting the wire just because of that. You just need more newtons. Just use force. It's just all the holes spread if you use bigger tools or whatever, like wedge. So now we go in there. So we need another grommet. By the way, I haven't put the grommets on yet. Let's do that later. So now I want to make sure that this cable is going the direction I want it. Yeah. You just push it through. It's somewhere here. Yeah, here we go. So you can just use it by hand, and then let's make this. This is not a moto setup. This is a normal setup. Okay. So then we put the last grommet in. And now we push the grommets on as well. We just put it there, and then the other grommets. Okay, here. There. And there. Then we have all the grommets there. So now again, we use some conventional to dampen this thing out. So just a sec. Okay, so the conventional thing, that's it. So how does it work? So this is what we first thought, that we put this cable inside here, but that also makes noise. And then we did something that is like it's not what you think first, but we route the cable on top of this, and this tube actually squeezes the cable to the frame, and it's outside of this, and it's dead silent. So let's do it. So how you do it is you just start ramming it in here. And also you don't need to necessarily take this off every time you use it. I need to see what I'm doing. Look here, and like just give it a little bit of help, and it starts to go into the tube, and that's it. So now you just help a little bit here, and just push it. No, still going. Take that. So, and then the last piece, you just fold it in there and push it in. I just folded it in. So now, it's silent. So, sometimes you're kind of happy, but also disappointed when you try to be clever and do some kind of fancy stuff. We were thinking about tubes and machining differently and all that, but then just the most simple thing works. You just put foam inside. Actually, I got the idea while I was in Madeira. I had the second prototype where we had the storage there, and I was there, and then I didn't think about the rattling too much before because it was a prototype. So I was there, and then I had to figure something out. So I went to a shop and I bought a bunch of plastic cups. I just rammed them to the down tube through the hole there, and those silent the cables down. But this is more elegant, and it's actually like you can get it from any. I don't think you're gonna lose it inside your frame. But anyway, this is from any hardware store. You can buy this and just use it if you want to dampen it. It doesn't weigh at all. It's also lightweight. Okay, moving on. Okay, so there's the seat post, rubber post cable. There we go. And let's put the promat on. Okay, so now we put this on the stand and start working on everything else. So first we're gonna install the headset. Good, no text and to worry about what. just make sure that these cables don't go around your steer tube. Otherwise, you will be wearing out your steer tube. So just make sure that they go the right way. So we leave quite a lot of steer tube just to make sure every rider gets their own handlebar height. So on Voima at least, it seems to be so that most of the people, we need one more spacer actually. So most of the people like the high handlebar, especially like me, I have 50 millimeter raise on my handlebars. So I like to ride behind from the handlebar instead of trying to weight it from the top. With the front brake, it's easy to get grip when you go into corners. Okay, so now we have the handlebar there. We just need to get one more spacer there to make it neat. If this would be my bike, I'd just first set the handlebar height and then cut the steerer to somewhat size what I would feel comfortable. Let's first build the cockpit since we have the fork on. So let's put the brake there. Anyway, we're gonna set this right when we start riding. And we'll just put everything in. Everything these we have cut to measure at Pole factory. So when you're building your bike, you don't need to worry about the cable lengths. Of course, you can, if you want to make it look nice and neat or whatever, you can just do your own thing. But generally, it should look, at least from our factory, good. So that's there. So now we have that side done. We're going to make these tight later on. So now we need to put the rear brake. So this is the AXS. So the AXS needs to be a little bit further away from the handlebar because it needs more room, the shifter. So I like to have it here. You could also use the matchmaker, but I'm using that. Okay, so, and it comes with the package. So there we go. So now we have the cockpit. Now we can actually put the brake in. So these brakes, we will do it here at the factory. So you will, if you have a full build, this has been connected. But let's do it now as well. Put this in. So this is the olive. So we don't need to bleed this. This just is in. Okay, then just let's make sure that this rotates nicely. This looks good, so we just make it nice and tight. Here we need to be extra careful. This would be a nightmare if you how much is enough? Well, if it leaks, then it wasn't tight enough. Let's say. Okay, there you go. So now we have the cockpit somewhat ready. Let's fix this. So this doesn't want to go where we want it to go. So let's just loosen that a little bit and then try to wiggle it. I want to rotate even more. Okay, then it's not here. So usually these ones are pretty nice. This one seems to have some issues. Okay, so let's do it this way then. So here we just need to be careful that we don't take any oil out. So now we just roll it so it looks nice. It looks nice. Just hold the cable. No, so just being in the package for a while. So okay. So now we have left the cranks and the wheels, so and the drop post. This is pretty easy compared to the e-bike. So let's make this first right. There. Okay, let's put the derailleur on.
So what's your thoughts on EXS? You've been using it now for quite some time.
Oh, I'm using it, Joe. So just I think I've been using the normal ones for a while, and I think I like the fact that it works consistently, and yeah. So the consistency is what I really like about it, and I've been using them since the start, since they came to the market. And so I've kind of used to it, and I've used the other ones as well, but I mean, I prefer the technology, and the good thing about it is that the batteries, everything, they just work. One thing about quality is where you can see accuracy in place. So if I push here, it just goes directly into the hole. So it means that these swing arm pieces are so aligned. The tolerance is just amazing how it just fits there. There's no intolerance. So this bike is straight. It goes straight. The wheel is straight. Everything is. There's no play or no like misalignment. So that's really good with the CNC machining. So now we're going to put in the wheel. Look how nice it goes in. Yeah, I need the 5mm. Oh, we were lucky. That was on spot. And just the bike is almost ready, so we just need to put the shifter and battery on here. Remember to save these bits, because if you go traveling in an airplane, these are good. You can just put this there and this one here, and this one goes to your personal, like onboard luggage, like this. This is a lithium battery. You don't leave it on your bike. Okay. It goes in. I've never dropped one of these, even though the first ones didn't have this. I think this might be unnecessary, but let's just. Sometimes you do some unnecessary stuff. Just a little bit tight so we can work on the bike. Okay, so now we adjusted these two. Let's see how lucky we are. Oh yeah, we need to pair this first. Let's pair. So how to pair this is that you just press that button and wait it to start blinking. Okay, then you go here and just turn this so you can see the. So here you press and you have the bleep bleep. Here you go. And then you go back and you press that button. So more you have this, you need to do that the same as you do with the shifter, and after that you do this. So now this is the master, and this is the slave. I guess you could do it the other way around as well. I'm not sure, but I don't know if all of these work as a master. So now we just adjust the B screw. By the sound of it, it's not very set yet. So we go to the second highest. Yeah, it's not very right. The bike comes with a tool which you use here. So you put that on the highest gear, and that needs to match that. And actually you would need to do it when the bike is sagged, but on this bike I have found out that this it's pretty close where you are here, but you kind of leave it a little bit like that. That's the where I set it. So it's not, this is not straight. It's, you can see it's on the outer edge. So that's good now. So let's see if it shifts better now. This one comes with different spacers, so if your offset is not something else, you can set it up. So I believe that we just need to take off that one little piece. So can we do it without? Oh yeah, here we go. We just take this off now. That, and I believe that's enough. So we go back and put this back, and then so this chain guide is from Pole. We use the absolute black guide here. It's a really good guide because it's made for oval rings, and since we have a lot of travel, it doesn't start to hang up here, even though we use a lot of travel. But still, you have quite a lot of space here. So now I believe that we're good. Yeah, we need to adjust the brake, make it centered. Yeah, let's see how centered it is. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I just use visual, like a lot of people just press the brake. I just watch that it's on the center. Like that. Pretty perfect. Okay, let's put the seat here. So now, so this is all done at Pole, so you don't need to worry about getting this one right. Just put that in there, and then you slide it and you pull, and that's it. And now we just put this down there, and now we can get the cable out. Take the handlebar. Okay. can insert this pretty deep. Look, this is 180 seat post. And yeah, one thing as well is that people ask about how deep you can insert the seat post. So that the seat tube length on insertion depth doesn't matter that much. The point is how deep you can put it here. So our deepest point is actually here where this link axle is. So that's where it starts. And then go higher up. So there's a calculator on our website where you can just put the post. There's all the posts that we have, and crank length, your inseam, and everything, so you can see what seat post length works for you with this bike. Okay, let's finalize the cockpit. The reason why I'm going back and forth is that I can't go all the way in with these right away. Yeah, these are right. Handlebar seems to be kind of okay. Maybe it's a little bit upswept, so let's deal with that first, because otherwise we'll put everything a little bit messed up. So we just, on this descendant stem, I think we just need to loosen these a little bit. Roll the bars to the center, and then how I feel the right way is to see that the bar, the back sweep is actually back sweep, and then it turns towards you from the side. That's good. So first we descend and we tighten these at the top to the end, and then we work these out. Because this is a carbon bar, I recommend using a torque wrench. I'm used to work with these. I don't know, just haven't had any issues ever. I kind of feel a good way is if the tool starts to kind of flex, that's the way to stop. That's my kind of look. No, that's the flex, and let's find it here as well. This one's still, yeah, now that's the flex. I don't know how many newtons that is, but it worked out for me so far. So now I need T25 and 3, and then we're done. First, make the grips where we want them to be. Not tight enough, still rotates. Okay, and then my own measurements with fingers, and yeah, I want the, if I have my brakes, usually they're kind of a little bit that way, not so flat forward, but kind of depends how high your handlebar is and where you ride. There's no kind of one way doing it. There's some people who put them really low, but they usually have long fingers. And for example, I kind of lean on the brake lever, so I want to keep them a little bit higher. So kind of use balance more from here. And yeah, it's really personal preference, but mainly like when you put your hand here, it just there's so many images on websites where they market these kind of grips and everything, so they kind of say that your wrist needs to be straight into here and then the fingers here. But if you look at most of the racers, they just hold the handlebar quite loose, and usually their palm is off the grip most of the time. So they kind of squeeze in with their fingers mostly. So if you look at the rock climbers, they don't grab everything like that. So they kind of grab it with the finger, and then you have looser arm, so you don't use so much squeezing power. If you would be here, you need to use all that, and then you lock this joint, and then it kind of your riding is stiff. So try to loosen your arm, and then you can be more loose on the bike as well, and you can stay longer on your bike. So okay, so now we have the bike set. Did we miss anything? I think we're done. Let's just make a quick check with everything and see how it goes. So that's pretty much set. So we don't have pedals here, so we can't pedal the bike, but overall it looks pretty good. Should we go to the studio with this one? There's air in the tires. Yeah. Looks pretty good. Let's see how much it weighs. We don't have a scale here, we need to. Not bad. Suspension set. Feels good.